Yo, I want to talk about the Greek Freak. Um, Now this past week we just came off All Star Weekend, and we seen Team Giannis and Team LeBron go at it. But something triggered something in the fourth quarter. Okay, Giannis is considered a top five best player in the league, right? Um, for most of you, I got him in my top five for currently playing right now. But if you notice in the fourth quarter of that All Star game, yes, it's an All Star game. There's not put too much of a emphasis on it because it's just an All Star game, right? But there is one little thing that seems to keep happening over and over again. Now, I said at the beginning of this season that the Bucks would not win the championship because their main player, Giannis, cannot hit a consistent perimeter jump shot, right? I told you his main Achilles heel, his main flaw is if you clog the lane and you stop him from driving to the basket and you play him closely, he becomes passive and he starts just passing the ball to the shooters and relying on role players to bail him out. And he's a superstar. It's supposed to be the other way around sometimes, right? Most of the time, he's supposed to be doing most of the heavy lifting. You're getting paid the most money. You're the franchise player. But Giannis scored 2 points in that All-Star game in the fourth quarter, right? Because they clogged up the lane. I criticized and said Giannis's biggest weakness is shooting, and it's going to continue to be his weakness until he gets a consistent jump shot. Okay? Now you see a perfect example of how to beat Giannis in the playoffs. Forget all the regular season stuff where you could do fast breaks and get open lane for dunks, right? What you saw last night, I mean, not last night, what you saw on Sunday night in the All Star game was old school, you know, hands on body, grabbing jerseys, hand checking a little bit, old school basketball. Now, this is why I think a guy like Giannis will have a hard problem playing in other eras of basketball because he can't shoot. Now, they always say greatness transcends to every era, which is primarily true, but that only contends to true all-stars, guys that have won already and know how to win because they know how to make those adjustments because they got that package in their game already anyway, right? But Giannis is not on that type of level because he ain't got no rings. And in order for him to get a ring in this generation, in an old era, he would have had to learn how to shoot, period. All right? And this guy cannot hit a consistent jump shot. Which begs to differ. Is that a big problem for you that Giannis cannot hit a consistent jump shot when the game counts? All you have to do is put a body on him, lock him down, boom. Close that lane up, he becomes a complete different player, right? You know, they did that a lot in the 90s, you know? And keep in mind, the rules was a little bit different, you know? There was no illegal defense in the 90s, but by the way, that rule of illegal defense was banned in the 90s. And Euro stepping, what you call it, a step back jump shot. A lot of these moves were considered traveling back in the day, so you would have to take into factor that some of these guys' skill set would be a little hindered playing it back in those days. So let's just give them the benefit of the doubt and say they will put up some decent numbers. But this is another reason why I still tell people if Jordan played in today's basketball, he could roughly average 35 to even close to 40 points a game. He'll probably have a season that he averaged 40 points a game. A guy with that mentality that's going out to put his foot on your neck and looking to score a lot anyway, Jordan would have it way much more easier scoring now than he did in his own era. Because back then, at least you could put a hand on him, you know? You could elbow the dude or do something to him, grab his jersey. You can't do nothing now. Now playing defense is really just putting a hand in somebody's face. That's considered top defense now. You know, it's the reason why some guys scoring points when they're not supposed to be scoring. You know, you got everybody and their grandmother averaging a triple double in games now. You got everybody that could put up a triple double now because it's so spread out and more easier to score. You know, now what happens when you tight down a little bit and you play playoff defense? What will happen to Giannis then? Giannis is putting up historic numbers. All right? He's averaging double-digit rebounds, double-digit points. He's playing like an MVP of the year. And I have him for the MVP for this season. He's very efficient because he's driving to the basket. Most of his scoring is coming to the basket, meaning that a lot of his scoring ability is very efficient because he could get to the basket efficiently. Now, here's the thing about being an efficient scorer. There's all types of ways of scoring. If you're a very efficient scorer by just getting to the basket, but you don't have much of a jump shot, then come playoff time, they're going to test you to see if you could survive that type of basketball where you could have a consistent jump shot. Okay? This is why LeBron suffered in 2009, 2010 seasons when the playoffs came because they blocked the lane off, much like Giannis. And he had to rely on the jump shot, and his jump shot wasn't as good as it is now. You know, not to say that he would have beat those teams because he was undermanned anyway. There were better teams anyway, but he would have put up a better fight, so to speak. You know, if he had a more consistent jump shot, and who knows? I mean, you probably could have won. Who knows? But what do you think? Do you think Giannis is the best player in the game? Or do you think he's a top 5 player in the game? I say a top 5 player in the game. I think it's between him and Kawhi Leonard battling for that top spot in basketball. These two guys are battling for new king of the hill. And LeBron seems to be in behind looking at these two guys saying, hey, I have to take one of these guys out to be the top dog, or both. You know? So LeBron may have to beat both of these guys come playoff time if Giannis gets a consistent jump shot, but I still don't see it yet. I said I was going to make more videos on Giannis Antetokounmpo because I think he deserves to be talked about more because he's a very great talent. He's a great player. His ability to get to the basket is almost second to none in today's era, but he needs a jump shot. You know, he's a good defender. You've seen what he did to LeBron. He blocked LeBron's shot a couple times, you know. And as far for LeBron, man, you got to get off the ground a little more, dude. I mean, Giannis blocked your shot, but you barely got off the ground. I mean, that was like the weakest fadeaway jump shot I ever saw. No jumping effort at all. I mean, you deserve to get blocked at that point. I'm just pointing that out. So, what do you think? Do you think Giannis is the best player in the game right now? Some people think that he is. What happens if he becomes a 2-time MVP? The championship odds increase on him. You want him to take his game to the next level if he's a back-to-back MVP, right? It's only right that he should try to win Finals MVP and take his team to the top, right? So we don't know, but I'm still sticking with my prediction. Giannis and the Bucks ain't making it out the playoffs and going to the finals because the number one reason your star player cannot shoot consistently. It is what it is. Peace. What do you think?